Hi, this is Bobby from Raisin Boat. Today we're going to be making some gift card holders, and we're going to be using our new gift card boxes, which are 3.5 by 5 inches. So they fit photos as well as a gift card. And today we're going to just show you a couple fun things to do with them. You can see it's 3.5 this way, 5 this way, and it's got a very narrow profile or low profile. So it's kind of fun to use for cards as well. And we're going to start out just giving you a few tips on how to make these, but you'll get the hang of it really quickly. So I'm going to put these 3 away, and we'll start with the first one, which is our tree one. And as you can see, what I've done is I've added snow to the outside of the box, so it's right in front of the trees and it looks like snow is falling and the trees are bare with no leaves already. So the first thing I like to do is to actually get the pearl pen and the snow on the box. That'll give it some time to dry while I'm stamping the inside. So we'll get started with that. Couple tips. Here is your box. This is how they come. They lie flat. And there is a seam on one end. You can see it right here. So what you want to make sure is when you're working with it, the front is always going to be with the seam on the bottom and the flaps fold back. And the reason for that is when you have them folded, these flaps will not be seen because you'll have this piece on the back here. And so you want to just make sure you're starting on the right side. And then you want to pick out your pearl pens or your glass effect gels. Today I'm using Magic Transparent and Ice White for the snow, and I like to use both of them. This one dries clear and this one dries white, so it's kind of a cool effect when you see it all on the page or on the box. Now again, my corners for my front, so I don't confuse my seams here, is this corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that I avoid putting any kind of pearl pen in any other spots other than the actual front. Now if I happen to get it down here, that's not a problem. I'll just have 2 sides, and I'd probably do this side over here. I would do 3 sides with the pearl pen and just make it uniform. Okay, and all you're going to do is you just put in some dots here and there to represent the snow falling from the sky. And I'm going to leave room for it to come back and put in the Ice White. This happens to be the Magic Transparent that I've got, that I'm using right now. And I'm just going to put them randomly everywhere, just like snow falling and snow collecting at the bottom. And I like to have a couple of the pieces a little bit smaller, a couple of the drops actually being smaller, but you get the idea. And I'm going to go ahead with the Pearl Pen Ice White and do the same thing, just filling in some of these areas with the white. So then when they dry, they will be slightly different from each other, and but very cool. Okay, so you get the idea there. Now we're going to stamp the background, which is the trees and the word thanks. So cut your paper 3.5 by 5, and I'm using our ultra white just because it's stiffer, so I know it's going to set really nice in that box. It's a little bit heavier paper. And I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to ink up my branch tree or my birch tree. And this is a very large image, so you just want to make sure that you're getting ink on all parts of the image. And it does require our larger block size as well. This is the large block. And I'm going to go on my paper here, and I'm just going to put a couple trees on both sides. Make sure you're pressing down everywhere so all those branches show up nicely. And you can even, you know, overlap them slightly, because in nature that's how they would look. And you also want to be able to alternate. You want to alternate the lengths, or the heights I should say, on your design, just for added interest. Okay, and then I'm going to use rhubarb stalk in for the word thanks, and you can see here I've got it at the top. So stamp that up here. Okay, now to make those trees really pop, I like to use my Copics in C1, C3, and C5. So I've got those here waiting to be used, and I'll put them in the order. Obviously they get darker as you go a higher number. I'm going to start out with my C5, and I'm going to use the brush tip, and I'm going to go inside the stem or inside the trunk and just do a nice shading here along the main branch or main trunk on all three of the trees. And this will just add some nice depth plus a little color. Then I'm going to use my C3, which is the next darkest color, and I'm going to fill in some of these bigger main branches coming off of the trunk. And then lastly, I'm going to use my C1, which is right here. And again, the brush tip, and I'm going to just go along the outside edges to create a background shadow. And this will just make them kind of pop off the page just a little bit more. And there you have it. So now this will go inside my box. My box isn't dry yet, so I'm not going to put it in there yet, but I will show you the one that is already completed. And then the other thing I like to do is, because this one just has the word thanks and no to from on the front, you can actually put that on the back. So I created another sheet and stamped to and from the set Days Till Christmas. And this is actually using one of our innies, so I just cut it down to a 3.5 by 5 size and used the thank you phrase from the innie. And then I also stamped another box, or I'm sorry, another tree on this side, so we have this kind of coordinated look. And then lastly, all you need to do is add your gift card. I'll put this in here. And when you close this, you want the flaps to go behind your background sheet, and you're ready to go with your gift card. And you can see that this can move around. So what you want to do is just put a glue dot on the back of your gift card and secure it in the position that you want on the front. So if you want it centered, just put your glue dot where you want it, and then it'll stay nicely for when your recipient gets it. The next card box we're going to show you is the elf, and this is from the set Elves Are Watching. We're going to use the little guy up here. It'll look like he's actually holding the gift card, as well as the phrase jolly and the Christmas tree lights. So what I've done is I went ahead and I stamped the entire back. We've got a tutorial online that shows how to color the little elf in using your Copics, so you can watch that. And then I stamped jolly using love letter, memento love letter. I added a to and a from the set Days Till Christmas. I added my gift card, and it's on a glue dot, so it moves. If I don't want it to move, it would take 2 glue dots to keep it nice. And then I also stamped the Christmas lights, and I filled them in using the Pearl Pen and Glass Effect Gel again, so you can see they're dimensional. And then I wanted to carry that design right on to my box, and so that's what I'm going to show you right now, is how to do that. Now, you're not going to be able to use just regular Memento Tuxedo Black ink. In fact, what you need to use is StazOn, because when you are stamping on the clear boxes, you need something more like a Sharpie, so the StazOn will work really well for that. And so we're going to go ahead and put this away, get out our box. Again, remember, you need the seam on the bottom, and the it needs to go like this with the flaps folding back so that you for sure have the right front. Then you got to remember where your seam is for the front here. So it's going to be here and here. And I'm going to use my StazOn. And the key to this is when you stamp on the clear box, you need to stamp and bring it right up. You don't want to rock or have any kind of motion, because it will end up being blurry on your box. So for a very clear image, and this is awfully smooth, so it will want to move on you. So you really just have to be very careful. Go down, stamp, and bring it right back up, and you'll have great results. Again, down, stamp, bring it back up. Now, I do know that this Christmas tree light image, 3 of them is actually longer than the box itself. So I'm going to put a little mask here so I don't get any on the edge for a cleaner look. And I'm going to stamp down, and press back up. And you can see that one got a little bit blurry because I moved it a little bit by accident. I didn't mean to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in those Christmas tree lights with our Glass Effect gel, and I've also got the red Pearl pen here as well. So I'm going to use these colors. And the reason why I like to use Glass Effect gel, especially on the clear, any clear box or bottle, is because it allows light to come through. And so it almost looks like the lights are actually lit, because if the sun is shining in from the back, you will see that come through in the color itself. Now, if you did do a little bit of a motion, rocky motion, and got a little bit of a blurred image, it's not as big of a deal here because you're filling in a lot of these areas now with the Glass Effect gel, and so it's not really going to show up. So that's kind of a good thing to have happen. I'm going to put a little more purple in here. Now, the other thing is my Christmas tree lights aren't matching up perfectly on the top because I wasn't too worried about that, because I know I can come in here and add a dot of Glass Effect gel, and it's going to cover that up and nobody will even know. So I'm still going to get a really cool look. So you can see how this is turning out or shaping up. And I'm going to use yellow. Of course, all of this is available on raisinboat.com. And the Glass Effect gel lasts a really long time as well. So you can do a lot of projects with just a couple bottles. So, and of course, it's fun to have all the different colors available to you, so something to keep in mind. And I don't worry too much if I have two colors next to each other, because if you think of Christmas tree lights, when you replace them, often you'll have two colors that are the same next to each other. So, and there you have it. And I'm going to try to hold that up so you can see a little bit better how that looks. And so now when we put the background design behind it, now I have to be careful because this is still wet, you can see that it's going to have, the lights are going to be above and underneath the gift card. So it's kind of a cool effect. So that's that one. Now we also use the same colors of Glass Effect gel in the pink and the yellow and the blackberry on this one, and we just added dots all over. Now I goofed up and I actually ended up putting dots on one of the sides, so I just went with that and I added them there. And I also touched it before it was dry, so I've got a couple areas that needed to be covered, so I added some ribbon here and then added my gift card. And then the last one is the postcard. I thought this would be really cute, like for the mailman at holiday time, to give a little gift card. And so this is using the set Dear Santa. And it's actually, you can create a whole postcard using the set. So that's exactly what I did, and I put it in on Ivory Coast cardstock and then colored everything in with Copics. And I used Tuxedo Black ink for all of the phrases and the words. And then up here I used R89 and R46 Copic colors along with YG 97 and 95. And I made sure to put the to and from over on the side so that when I add my gift card, let's see if I've got one here to show. So when the gift card sits in here, it will not cover up the to and from. And I can put this on an angle or I can put it down in the corner. And it just kind of depends on what kind of gift card you have. And then I just added the Pearl pen, which in red here, along to make this border. And I added this really fun nostalgic ribbon that's available at raisinboat.com as well. And it's also, for you renter members, it's also part of one of our rental keepers. So you can get this ribbon in place of, with other ribbons in place of a rental 1 month if you decide to do that. And this just all fits nicely in here. And again, when you close it up, you want to make sure that this flap is going to fit securely behind the background. So you've got a nice clean finish on the front. So that's the gift cards, from trees to a postcard to just some fun dots using going in circles, and the and using the Christmas tree lights. You get 4 fun different looks using just some really fun clear gift card boxes. So hope you enjoyed that, and we'll talk to you soon.